Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of the Castle Cast podcast. In this episode, we will be talking about um, fucking chicken, like little chicken restaurants and kebab shops in the UK everywhere. They're dotted all over the place. I'm joined by the co-host Blue Knight Gaming.
Yep, hello, as always, here I am.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and get started. Answer a few questions like we usually do. Just talk about it, blah 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 blah, all that shit. Also, I'm using a new mic. Let me know if it's better or
Yeah, it
not
sounds
as
quite good.
good. All right, sick. I might use this mic from now on then. But all right. So for this episode, well, I just said what we were fucking doing. All
Yeah,
right. Well, I'm gonna ask a few questions. Blue's gonna ask a few questions. Then we're gonna go on to your guys' questions. We didn't get a lot, but yeah. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna ask you real quick. Like
yeah,
whenever you go into these places, it's always the same people. They're
yeah.
like behind the bar. It's always like I don't want to be a huge stereotype or racist, but they're always like Indian people or fucking
Yeah.
Chinese people who sell
You get
chicken.
Chinese and chippies, but you get like in like kebab places, it's always like Middle Eastern fellas.
Yeah, in the kebab places, you get people from like Egypt and Iraq and that noise.
Yeah,
It's good.
they're cool though,
Their
most of them
sound.
are. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't they just give us meat. To be fair,
yeah.
they don't do anything. They just like running their little business.
And if you go enough times, they get like after a while, they sort of remember who you are and they give you discounts and shit like that. That's what it's like in this place I go to. I go to this pizza place called Pronto Pizza, right? It's the best place I've ever been to. I'm probably going to order a pizza from there tonight. They know me so well because I stay at two different houses sometimes. Sometimes I'm in this house where I am right now, but sometimes I'm in another house. And like the two phones in the houses, they've got the numbers linked up to the addresses, and I just ring and they know who I am, and they say which house is it this time, and I say which one, and they always send the same delivery fella every time. He knows how much change to give me. He knows like I get the same order every time. They know me that well. It's so fucking funny. And I go down there, they all know me. And like I sit in the same place every time, order the same shit every time. I applied for a job there once. You just said leave your number and your name. I left my number and my name, and I left like my address so they know like which number it is because I order from there that many times. But I haven't heard back from them since. But like if I get it, I get it. I mean, like, I'm going for a job interview on Saturday actually, some other place. But I'm not going to get into that because it's not really related to this. But yeah, I go to
Is it
this
like
place all the time.
is it like a family business type place?
I don't know if it's a family business. Some of them might be related, but just like they seem to all get along. They're all mates, and they all just run this little pizza place. They've got their own Instagram as well. They're called
Oh
Pronto
wow.
Pizza. I think they're either called Pronto Pizza Liverpool or Pizza Pronto Liverpool. But like, look them up. They're so funny. They just put up pictures of fucking kebabs and shit like that. It's funny.
Yeah, the last time I had a kebab was in like December, and I had so much onion with it. I made my stepmom sick because
Uh,
just onion. But I loved it. I was having a jolly old time, and she was up in the bathroom.
yeah,
Yeah, but um, I was I don't really have many experiences with kebab shops. I don't really go there that much because as nice as the food is, it's a bit pricey. Like
yeah. Most of the
it's
places, yeah,
yeah, most places I go there's a that this chicken place. It's like a rip off KFC. You can tell by the logo because
yeah.
they just took Colonel Sanders, made him a chicken, but then fit on. And I think the place is called
Oh
Favorites
yeah, there's
Chicken.
them round here. There's one
We
called
went
like
in there
Freddy's, and there's
once.
one called fucking Chicksters. But yeah, there's one
Freddy's.
called Freddy's, and it's just a chicken, and it's called Freddy's. And like
There's a
oh
chicks
yeah,
disappear.
we've got so many, but like it's
Yeah.
always like the same look, but it's just a different name each time, and it's like the same logo, the same like design of the place. It's just instead of like Freddy's, it'll be a different name.
Yeah. It's it's the same with store-bought chicken here in
Yeah.
England. Like you go to there's a shop called Farm Foods here in England, and in the freezers they have their own rip-off chicken called
Yeah, and in most of the
SFC,
places
and
they
it's
just sell that to you. They just cook it for you and sell that to you.
yeah,
That's all it is. Yeah.
yeah. They just buy it, cook it for you. Maybe put some cinnamon on it because that's how a lot of chicken places do it now. They just put a bit of cinnamon
And then
on
they just like
and call it a
bump up the
day.
price by like £3, and that's like brand new fucking freshly made chicken.
Oh shit! I just realised something. It ain't gonna make us end the podcast, but we was planning on like putting music in the background, but because of how chilled the music is and how slow it is, we would have to talk slower, so that way it wouldn't seem like weirdly.
It'll go
weird.
from a podcast into fucking ASMR. It'll be like, hey guys, here we are on the podcast, and we got the soothing.
We're fucking high, dude. We're fucking high. Like imagine if me and you were in the same room. Imagine if it was like an American college dorm and it was the stereotype where they were smoking weed and just kind of talking.
Yeah,
that's what a podcast is. Yeah. It's just people talking about random shit.
That's what we'll do, meet up. We'll just bring mics with you, and we'll just meet up and get in the same room and do an episode where we do like a live podcast. That'll just be even funnier.
Do an episode where we do a live podcast and smoke weed. I'll go home. My mum will slap me silly. Yeah.
We're not fucking condoning the use of illegal substances on the podcast right now.
Yeah.
Because, we'll get fucking
but
straight.
Anyway, back to the actual topic. We was I don't have a lot of good memories from places. Once I went there and like staff, I remember getting harassed by staff and a customer too. Yeah. The fucker, it was the customer who started it. I walked in with my friends, and the customer was saying something, and then we turned around and said something back, and then like apparently they didn't like that, the people who were working there, so they started yelling at us instead. But we got and they were like threatening us to kick us out by like physically just kick us out. So we got our food and just left and ate it on a bench. We were gonna eat inside, but those assholes were in there and it was fucking freezing.
Yeah.
I didn't even eat all my chicken. I didn't feel like it.
Yeah. I only go to one place.
They also do really shitty chips.
Oh yeah, some of them do shit chips. But the place that I go to does amazing chips. They put like red salt on, red salt, where it's like salt and it's salt and paprika, and it's just the best thing ever. I swear to God.
Oh, it is
good. Oh my God. Anyway, in there they do like they either do fries or they do like fat chips. Sometimes like they do both. Like you ask for just ask for chips and they give you one or the other. But like when I go in, like when I actually go in, I order this thing. It's a 10-inch pizza with 2 toppings, a side of chips with red salt, and a can of Vimto, and that's $5.95. That is. Which is a fucking great deal, by the way. Yeah, they used to do this.
That is a great
deal. They used to do a 7-inch pizza where it's like 4 pieces, 2 toppings, a chips and a drink for £3. They used to do that, and they stopped doing it because they weren't making enough money from it. I used to have like 2 of them every day. On like I'd come out of college on my break, I'd walk down and get that thing for £3, a 7-inch chips and a drink for £3. Get that nowhere else. That's like the best meal deal you'll ever get. I used to get like 2 of them every day.
Yeah.
And then I'd go home, I'd order like the 10-inch one on the phone and get it delivered. I'm their best customer. I pretty much work there already. My job is to buy from them so they don't shut down. That's my job. Because if I worked there, they wouldn't get no one there. They'd get no customers if I got there.
Your job, keep us open.
Yeah, my job is to keep them open because like every time I'm in there, there's no one in there except me. And then some like fucking Muslim fellas come in and just sit there. But like no one actually orders anything apart from me. That's it. Like it's always empty until I come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably order them from them tonight. I'm gonna get like a 12-inch fucking meat freak. They do a pizza called the meat freak where it's like every fucking meat they've got on it. It's got pepperoni. It's got spicy chicken. It's got.
That actually sounds disgusting.
No, it's not. Trust me. I know it does sound it. It does sound shit, but it's not. Trust me, it's the fucking best thing you'll ever have.
It sounds like something you call a fat girl's pussy. Meat freak.
I know. Well, most places call it a meat feast, but they just fucking decided to call it a meat. Even if you ask for a meat feast, they'll still give you the meat freak. I don't know why they call it that, but like that's what it says on the menu. Anyway, it has pepperoni, spicy chicken, and the chicken is like proper like kebab chicken, like the nicest chicken you can ever get, like really nice chicken. And then like they have like fucking beef, like little strips of fucking beef, fucking doner meat on it, cheese, and then like it's like the best thing. I swear to God. It sounds fucking disgusting the way I'm explaining it, but you've just got to try it and then you'll know. It's hard to explain. It looks like shit. It sounds like shit, but it just tastes like fucking heaven. I swear to God, it's the
Yeah.
best thing you'll ever have.
How I'm imagining it is they've just gotten every single meat in the little kebab
Yeah.
shop and they've like grinded it up into a paste.
No,
That's what it
no, it's
sounds
not like
like.
that. You can see
Just
it.
smeared it
It's
on
not
the.
just paste. None of it's paste. You can actually see it all, or like the fucking compartments. You can see it all on there, all the toppings. Like most of it's under the cheese, and
Yeah.
some of it's on top. Like under the cheese, it's the pepperonis and the chicken under the cheese, and then on top it's like the little bits of beef and the fucking. Oh, I'm gonna order it tonight. I'll fucking send you the picture. I'll fucking upload a picture if I have to, just to show everyone that this is the best
You
pizza.
put it on your
Yeah.
put it on your story. Ruin the pizza, but ruin it so it's still edible. Just put your face in it.
Yeah.
But like, take a picture so it's just the back where people just see the back of your head and then your face in the food.
Yeah.
Like full on,
Yeah.
make your face cover your face in
It's
sauce.
fucking big enough to do that anyway. I'll fucking fit my head in the middle of that. Yeah.
Fucking what was it? 12-inch, 10-inch?
12. Yeah. I used to get a 14, but the price
Yeah.
up to it. It's I get a 12-inch and a drink. Because it's getting delivered, they have to do like a £1 charge, so it's
Yeah.
like 10.80 to get that. But like,
Yeah. What was that discount you were going on about earlier? $5.99 for a 10-inch, the chips
Yeah.
and the drink. That here in England isn't
I know.
bad because I go down to a chicken shop and I can only get like 2 pieces of chicken and like not even any chips for that
But
amount of money.
I've never
in
found
the
another
place near
place
me.
where they do a deal like that. £5.95 for 10-inch with you can pick 2 toppings, chips and a drink. That's like the best fucking. That's like a 3-course meal for under £6.
Maybe maybe they just have one menu for you and they see you walking down the road and they always know where you sit, so they just
Yeah.
slide it on.
I don't even
And
have
then
to
you
say what I want
and
half
like
the
all the
time. I just walk in like, you know who I am. And they're like, yeah,
yeah, all the all the other menus look like shit, yet yours has like gold lining around with it, and
yeah.
and it looks like a proper, like you've got just walked into a gourmet restaurant, and you know how the menus look like really good, and they've got leather on them and gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your menu.
Mhm.
That's your special menu. It says your name on it and everything. They've sewn in your name,
Yeah. Nah, true story.
your date of birth.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, true story. Listen to this, right? This place that I went to a few months ago, they shut because they were getting like they were redesigning the building, but they didn't tell anyone. So I just walked down one day, you know, expecting to go in, and it shut. Shutters are down. You look in the shutters, the fucking shop is empty. There's nothing in there, and I think, oh, they're shut down forever. I was so you don't believe how upset. I had nowhere to go because that was the best place. I had nowhere else to go. And then no, listen. There's more. And then I was gonna make a post about it. I was putting like rest in peace fucking Pronto Pizza, and I tried to tag them. I didn't know they had an Instagram, and I went to see if they had one, and I was gonna tag them, and then I went on their Instagram, and it said like on the story they're getting like renovated, they're redesigning the place, and I was like, oh,
you must have felt like a fucking spastic.
I was like, oh, thank God, because they didn't tell anyone, and then every time I go down after that day,
was there no sign?
no, there was no sign. It was just shut. It was just gone. Anyway, every time I went down after that day, it was getting like redone, and it looked nice. And then like it finally finished a few months ago, and I went in, and the first day I went in, it was no one in there, just me. And the guy, like the boss, came out and he knows me. He went, "This is what he said." He went, "You see me?" And he went, "Yo, where you been, brother? I've been waiting for you to come in." Hey. And I was like, "Yeah, you know, the place looks sick. It looks sick." And he redesigned the place.
Where you been, bro? I was I grand reopening here, free pizza, drink, chippy on the house here for you, just for you, my friend. Yes, very good.
No, I swear to God, I got everything for free that day. Like when I went in, I got my meal for free. He gave me a 10-inch for free because of that.
It's
Because he knows me that much.
because of the reopening. I think that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and it looks really it looks really nice now. Like what it used to be, you used to walk in and you'd have the counter facing
oh
you,
fuck.
and it looked quite shit. But then the way they've done it now is that you walk in and the counter's on the right side of you, and
Yeah.
it goes like you walk past it as you walk straight in, and it goes like down and like you can see all like the kebab meat in the. It's like a fucking. It looks like a fucking buffet fucking thing now. And
Oh,
then
that's good.
all the back of it now is a big seating area, and it looks really nice now. Yeah, and you sit at the very back because they've always got the door open. So if you sit at the very back, you can't like the wind doesn't get you, and like underneath the heaters at the back, and there's chargers now. You can charge your phone while you're sitting there.
Oh, that's
The way
good.
they've done it now, and yeah, and the big wall facing while you're sitting down is like black, like a big chalkboard. Like when you get like chalkboards in pubs, and they're like drawn on with shit, like, and it looks cool.
Yeah.
The whole wall looks like one of them. The whole wall looks like one of them. It says like big sign says like Pizza Pronto, the oldest pizzeria in like the area that it's in, because it's been open since like 1998. It's like the oldest pizzeria in that area of the city.
Oh, right.
And there's all like big drawings of pizzas and fucking burgers and like peppers and cheese and
Kebabs.
tomatoes and all shit like that. It looks sick. The way they've done it up, it looks nice.
Oh, fuck
So
it.
I'm glad they reopened. Yeah,
I don't.
and I go in all the
I
time.
don't actually have a lot of experience with like these type of shops, and that's why I haven't actually been talking that much. But I do have
Yeah,
one story. Once I, once we walked in there, we ordered our food, and you know
yeah,
the big fucking thing that spins around on the kebab meat that spins around. Basically they put it over.
yeah.
It's like a heater, but it cooks it, so it won't give you
Oh
food
yeah.
poisoning. It spins around. They slice it off. I remember once the knife was so blunt that it didn't even touch the fucking meat. Like he would try chopping it, and it wouldn't go through. And he was getting really confused and angry on what was going on until my dad had to tell him, "You do know it's really blunt, right?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a knife that blunt. Like, even a butter knife could have done the job on that thing. Like, it was so shit. Like it. Then
Yeah, the place I go to, they've got two of those big, massive fucking
yeah,
pieces of meat on a pole, and he just comes in with a fucking machete-looking thing, just slicing bits off, throwing it in the box full with chips and that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I don't really go to them that much because they're all shit and they look like they will give you food poisoning. But
yeah,
I went into that favorites chicken place I was on about. I went in and the
yeah.
only bit that's lit up is the bit where you go up and order, which is like the most boring, blandest fucking thing ever. You can't even eat in there. Like you get your food and they expect you to leave, so you just go in, and then you, and then the menu. There's no pictures. Pardon me. There's no pictures of the food. It's just a
Yeah.
plain piece of laminated paper with writing on it, and there's like what, four things to order on the menu, and they all cost, one costs like 270, the other
Oh
costs
my
like a
God.
fiver, the one costs a tenner, and like I think the other one
Ugh.
costs like a pound, and then above that it instead of thinking, oh yeah, let's have pictures of food on the main menu, not main menu, on the because they have also another menu, but that one's just for drinks, and they have more drinks than they do food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's shit. And
Oh
and
wow.
behind that, the fucking kitchen isn't even lit, so they probably can't see a thing.
Yeah. It should just become a bar then if they've got more drinks than food. Favorites
Yeah, but the
bar.
thing,
Why is it called favorites? Whose fucking favorite place is
I,
this? Like
I,
who
I,
looks at this place and thinks that's my favorite place?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they've shut down now because the windows have
Oh
been
God.
covered in white paint, and there's like a little notice. I mean, there's I don't really go to them that much, but there's
Yeah.
another place. It's like a little pizzeria, but I went there once,
Yeah.
and there were cockroaches on the floor. I still got the food. The
Ugh.
food was all right, and as I got, when you don't cook a pizza right and the middle is cold. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was shit. I'm never going back there again.
Uh.
I'd probably get ill. I
Yeah.
mean, cockroaches being dealt with, they were all dead, and some guy, this guy,
Yeah.
he looked about like 78, and he looked like he could barely stand on his own 2 feet, and he had a broom, and he was just kind of slowly sweeping them out of the way. And this one guy, he reminded me of just some salesman who would rip you off hardcore, and he comes around the corner and he goes, "Hey, hello, my friend, what would it be today?" I was like, "Oh, no, you busy for me, friend." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, can I get this?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And this guy at the back, he was like, "Hey," he started speaking in a different language. He's like, I, I want to imitate it, but I'm just gonna sound racist if I do. But I'm gonna try and imitate it. He just kind of went, "Ba, ba, 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 ba." That's what it sounded like to me. And then this other guy,
like that.
yeah, and the other guy shouted back, and then they got cooking,
Yeah.
and he was trying to make talk with me while I just sat
They
down.
got cooking. That's what they do in the place I go to. Like, you do your order, and before they closed again and like reopened. I think what they do now is like they do it electronically. They put like at the till, you put the order in and send it to someone in the kitchen like electronically. But like what they used to do, they used to just shout into the kitchen what the order is. And they'd never say it in English. It'd always be Arabic, but like some of the words don't change, so you could tell which is. It'd be like you'd say like 12-inch me freaky, go like 12-inch like that. It was so funny.
He would go, "Hey, Reese is back. He wants a pizza."
And the one in the kitchen would go, like, what do you want? And he'd go like a 12-inch like that. It was so funny.
What toppings does he want? He wants a pepperoni.
He wants spicy chicken and pepperoni. Wallah, and he fucking make it, and he'd come out, and he'd be like, "Who's this? And he'd go, that guy there. He pointed at me, and he'd go, "Sorry for the wait, my brother. Sorry for the wait," and then he'd go back in the kitchen.
Yeah, but no.
He only come out to say it.
I haven't had a kebab in a little while, but I'm just gonna gonna mention one more thing before we move into questions. But have you ever heard of a YouTuber called Chicken Connoisseur?
Yeah, I remember watching him in school. He was funny. Just this little kid who used to just go to fucking kebab.
You just hugely stereotyped him. Oh, little black kid who would go into chicken.
But that's what he was, wasn't he? He was a little black kid who used to go to chicken shops and just order chicken and then rate them.
Central London, in the middle of London, he would go order.
Yeah, this little kid would just go into kebab shops, just order chicken, eat it, and then like rate them and like vlog about it. Does he still do it?
Yeah, he still does it, but it's like he doesn't upload that much because his school and all that shit.
How old is he now?
Same age as you. I think 17.
Wow. Imagine that being like what you're known for, being the chicken.
Yeah.
You just go to fucking kebab shops and just eat chicken, and that's what you get paid for.
Yeah, no.
Like, he probably gets paid more than them now. He gets paid more than the people that cook the chicken for him. He gets paid more than them just to
I remember the first video I watched of him, and he took one bite out of the chicken and said it was really cold and disgusting. And he was like, "Man's had to pay $3.75 for that. Do you understand how much money that is, bruv?" Even though he had like 50 quid on him.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" But he was funny to watch.
He's like, "Man got bare vexed at the chicken shop last night because man asked for 2 wings and chips for £1, but boss man only gave me 1 wing. Blood, is he mad?"
Is he mad? I'll shank him. I'll shank him up, blood. I'll go back and I'll shank. That's what they sound like.
On my mum's life, I'll shank you up, fam.
They all sound like roadmen.
Yeah, well, they are roadmen.
They all sound like. What I meant to say was roadmen sound. They all sound like spastics. Is what I meant to say, but then I got confused.
Yeah. Well, in London, you can either be a roadman or you can be a cockney. That's like the only 2 species. It's like the 2 genders in London. You can be a roadman or you can be a cockney. That's what it is. You can be a roadman or a cockney. That's what you get chosen. You get assigned at birth. At birth, you can either be a roadman or a cockney, or you just don't exist.
Oh, look.
Be a fucking Tory. That's the third one.
Oh, look. Honey, look. He's got a knife for a willy. Oh, that's good, sweetie. I guess he's a roadman. He comes out the womb talking fucking, "Oi, blood, put me back, blood.
On my mum's life, put me back.
On my mum's life, put me back.
Man can't go back, you know.
Man can't
go back." These are my ends, innit? These are my ends
I
now.
fucking hate it.
You get
I
me?
fucking hate it.
You get me?
You get me, fam?
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I hate
Oh,
them. I hate all of them. I just
nah.
realised.
They are funny though.
I just realised something. I didn't write down the questions,
What?
and I don't know how the fuck to get them up without it fucking up the recording.
Oh, I know what it was. We only got one question. It was from fucking I forgot his name, but he said like he knows who he is. He said where did he get the chicken from? And like, well, most places just go to fucking stores like grocery stores and just buy the chicken and then cook it for you. That's all they do. They don't
They
like
put
none of
their
the
own,
ingredients is fresh. It's not.
they do put their own like batter on it, and they have their own recipe for that.
Yeah, yeah. I went to a place in like I think it was in Wales, either Wales or Yorkshire, one of them. And like this place put so much batter on this. It was fish. It wasn't chicken or like kebabs. It was fish. And they put so much batter on it. It was like fucking floating above the fish. Like you had like the fish, and then like above the batter would be like above it, and there'd just be nothing in between. So when you bit into it, you'd like bite the fucking batter, and then like 2 seconds later, your teeth would hit the fish. It was so horrible.
Ugh.
It was like fucking. It wasn't even like batter anymore. It was like just grease, just flying over the fucking
Yeah.
fish. It was horrible. And then in the chippy itself, we're just standing there ordering. I'm in there with like my granddad, and he tells me to look up at the ceiling. I look up at the ceiling, and the ceiling is just covered in flies, just everywhere.
Ugh.
And they had like a bug zapper thing up, but it was turned off, and I don't even know if it fucking worked or not. But it was turned off, and I was like, if you turn that back on, I think it'll make a difference, you know.
They had that. They needed a bug zapper. Yeah, no.
Yeah. But it wasn't even turned on. I don't know if it's turned off or it's broke, but either way, it's still there and they haven't fixed it, whatever. And the ceiling's just I thought it was a pattern on the ceiling. I thought it was like, why is the ceiling fucking looking like that? And he was like, they're flies, them, you know. I was like, fuck off, they're not flies. He was like, yeah, they are. And then I seen them move and I was like, oh yeah, they are. And like no one else in there was phased apart from us. There was like a bunch of little Welsh people in there. Because it's like the only shippy in the village. And they're just sitting there eating fucking eating fucking sausage and mash and that. And I'm looking at the ceiling and there's fucking flies all over the ceiling. And we're like, oh, get out of here.
This episode's nearly come to half an hour.
I know, yeah. Wow, without it
Fucking
lagging.
hell.
Fingers crossed.
Longest episode. Yeah.
Yeah, longest episode. You know, I feel proud right now.
Yeah. I go to Chippies a lot more than I have a funny story from there. So I went to the Chippy one time with my mum after doing with fucking something with my school. I even forget. I think it was parents' evening or some shit. But I wasn't paying attention because I brought my DS. So I was just pissing about on that. So as we were going back, I was sat waiting for our food. I was playing my DS, and some old lady, shouted over the counter, "So is that all you do nowadays? Then just sit on your ass and play games?" I was like, in my head, I was like, "You rude bitch." I was like, well, I got nothing better to do. It's like 7 p.m. Do you really expect me to go on a jog or something? I live in a really dodgy place as well. So do you really think I'm going to go into the middle of town and be like, oh, hello, everyone? No, I'll get fucking stabbed.
Huh. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, no. Because did I ever tell you the story that we should make that the next episode? The fucking fucking talking about druggies and around them being around England. But I'm just gonna
we'll
mention.
talk about that next time.
I'll
Yeah.
just.
I've got a funny story from fucking last night, but you know, I'll save that for the next episode.
Yeah,
there was something funny happened last night when I was out on the.
I'll mention one story, but I've got a funnier one, and I was gonna mention that one, but seeing as we'll do that in a different episode, I'll save that one. But this one, this lady she's not actually homeless. She claims she's homeless. I gave because it was like it was a few days after Christmas. I was feeling generous. I gave her a £5 note, and she was like, "Thank you, Merry Christmas." I walked away. Half an hour later, she's crying. I asked her what's wrong, and then she said, then she like she had her head in her hands, so she didn't look up and see me, and so she wasn't able to recognize me, and she said her friends. All her friends took the money and ditched her, and that she would have to go home soon. I was like, "Oh, do you?" And then she looked up, realized it was me, and then
So she was faking it just to get more
Yeah,
money. Yeah, we get people here who fake being homeless to get money. Like, there's this one, I think everyone knows about it by now, like around my area, but like in town, there's this woman who just stands there. She's got crutches, but she doesn't need them. She pretends to need them. And she just stands there pretending to cry and being like, "Excuse me, can you help me get some money for the train or the bus?" And like everyone just walks past because we know she's faking it, because I've seen her just like stand up normally and start walking away like loads of times. And like I was out with my mates one time, and my mate fell for it and give her money, and I kept trying to tell him, "Don't fucking give her it because she's faking." And like he wouldn't listen. He was like, "No, I'm doing it. Generous, isn't it?" Like he give her like £3. And as we walked away, I said, "You've just been fucking con there, you know, because she's faking that." And he was like, "No, I don't think she was. I think
and
it
then
looks normal.
and then she
It looked
starts
real."
skipping past him, and she does a heel click.
Yeah.
She does a heel click in the air. And she goes, and then your friend is just mouth jaw drop.
Yeah. Yeah, she fucking skips away and buys a load of fucking heroin and then dies the next day, yeah.
Fucking. Oh, good. I like that.
I've got one more story. It's actually like related to this episode as well, about fucking chicken shop.
Oh
There was
no,
a
is there a
chippy
homeless fucking
where I
person?
used to live. No, it's just about the chippy. There was a chippy where I used to live. I lived there for a few years. My mum still lives up there, but I don't live there anymore. Anyway, up there's a chippy, and every time I went there, the window was always cracked. Like the whole window was just cracked. Like I don't even know how it was still there. It was just the whole thing was just like a big crack. And like in the middle of the window, there was just like a piece of paper, and written on it, it says like "window broken by gang of Utes" or something. Like it was really funny. It made me laugh every time. And like the next time I went, they had like photos of like, you know, like surveillance of the gang outside on the
gang.
window, just like pictures. Or gang, they all look like they were like in year fucking 6. Yeah, the mandem. Even though like this chippy is like around the corner from my primary school, so they're probably all from there. Anyway, there's a picture on the fucking window of like all of them outside, and the camera quality is shit as fuck, so you can't even tell. It looks like a screenshot from fucking Counter-Strike or something. It's that bad. But anyway, there's just photos on the window of them like outside. You can't see that they're breaking the window. They're just, I don't even know if they got the right picture of the right people, but they're not even breaking the window. They're just standing there. And they're like, there's another note that says like, your identities have been handed over to the fucking police force or whatever. And the window never got fixed. It's probably still broke now, and the photos are probably still there, but like, that's quite funny. But I used to go there all the time. And the shop next door put up a sign on the door that says "no more than 2 teenagers allowed in at once." So me and my mate after school had to stand there in a line outside and wait to go in and get a fucking Ribena and a beer milk. We had to just stand outside and wait for 2 people to come out.
So this chippy sells chocolate bars, and you wanted to get a chocolate bar from a fucking chippy.
No, the shop next door to the chippy had done this.
Oh right.
And because they think we're stealing, so that's why they say no more than 2 teenagers allowed in at once. So we all had to wait outside, waiting for 2 of them to come out, so I could go in and get something. I'd go in, I'd get like the Beano comic, get like a Ribena, get a packet of Monster Munch, and then I'd fuck off home.
They do that with the co-op around here, because I know the people who I know the people who were stealing there, and it was after they stole like £100 worth of stuff because of how long they'd been doing it for, and all they had been stealing was like Pringles.
Yeah.
And so £100 worth of Pringles down the drain, and then fucking they now only 2. No, 3 actually. 3 are allowed in at a time. With me, I'm like really quick whenever I go in. I see what I want instantly. I'm like, all right, I'm leaving now. And then like you get the people who you're usually waiting for to come out say shit. They're just staying there for ages. I'm like, fuck's sake, it's co-op. You're either gonna buy a magazine, some fucking match attacks because you're a weird year 7 kid.
Match attacks. No, do you know what I used to get instead of match attacks? I don't know if you've heard this, but do you remember Cool Cash?
No, I've never had that.
It was so fucking good. What it was just like it was like a fucking little plastic thing full of fake £5 and £10 notes, and they had cartoon characters on. They had like a family. They They had the Family Guy one, they had the Simpsons one, they had the SpongeBob one, they had the Mario one. I've still got some of them in my mum's. They were so sick. And in school, we'd swap each
Oh,
other's
fuck
fucking.
off.
We'd
Were
swap
they
them
just trading
and
cards?
give each other ones. No, they look like fivers and tenors and like £20 notes, but they were like instead of the Queen and all shit like that, they just had characters on, and they were so sick, and they had like so many, and I used to trade them with my
I
mates
wonder.
and all
I
that,
wonder
and like
if you'd given one to a shop to pay for to pay for something one time. I wonder if they would have taken it without like thinking.
probably not, but like yeah, I had so many, and like in school they banned us from having them. Like they started like making us hand them in and all that, and I was like, where the fuck are all they
Yeah.
going then? And then I don't know if they get sold anymore.
We're just telling.
But they were so sick.
We're
I
just
remember
telling multiple.
Cool Cash.
We're just telling multiple stories on
Yeah.
this podcast, like this episode. Yeah,
Oh well,
it's
it's
fun.
fine.
Who cares?
We'll
They're like
talk about
little
everything.
mini stories anyway. I forgot what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. They did in my school. They did the same, but with loom bands. You remember them? Loom bands.
Oh yeah.
These like year 6 girls were selling custom loom bands for like 25p, and because they were selling them, because they were selling them, the teacher was like, no.
Girls used to come to my door and try and sell me them. Like they used to just come to the door and sell me them. I think I bought one for like 50p. It was like blue and green. I've still got it in my mum's somewhere probably.
What were they?
Shit.
What were
like,
they? Little kids who would just knock on the door? I take it.
Yeah, no, they weren't even little kids. They were like the same age as me at the time. But even though this was years ago, they were the same age as me at the time. I was like 10, and they were my age. And they come to the door like, "Do you want to buy a loom band?" I was like, "Yeah, go on, I'll take one." And then like a few years later, but people come to the doors trying to sell you fidget spinners. Yeah. No, but I'm not even bragging here. I had the sickest fidget spinner you'll ever see. Like I got it in Manchester. It was made of metal. And it was sharp.
It was made of metal. Yeah, I'm so cool. That's what it sounds like.
It was metal. I know it was. It looked like a fucking weapon. I swear to God, it was metal. It changed color. Like when you move it, like the metal changed color, and it was like sharp. It was so sick. I don't know where it is right now, but like I found pictures of it online. What it looks like. So I'll have to show you one day. But like I don't know where my one is. But it was sick. It was so sharp. It doesn't look sharp in the picture, but trust me, it is. And I had one of them. I took it into school. I'd just fucking throw it at walls and shit. It was funny. And it never break because it was metal. Everyone was jealous of mine because they all had little shit ones, little shit plastic ones that you get in like the town centre for like 50p. Yeah, I had the sickest fidget spinner going, and everyone was jealous.
Yeah, once I remember my sister went around to the neighbours, and because the neighbours were old, she tricked them into saying that, like, she tricked them into because everyone knew how much loom bands like cost when you see them in the shop. They were fairly cheap, but my sister would scam these old people and get more money than what she was supposed to because these old people didn't know better. And she came home with like £15 that one night because of fucking selling. Like she had like 5 loom bands and she sold those. Anyway, the podcast episode is getting like way too long now. It's nearly been 40 minutes. Damn. All this,
this is the longest one we've ever had so far.
Over some fucking chicken shops and it's mainly been you talking.
Well, we've covered
it's mainly been you talking though because I don't really have any stories, but I just thought it'd be a good idea to talk about them because we see them all over Britain. Like if you come to Britain and go to London or something, central London, you will see little tiny like chicken places all run by like the same people from the same country. Right. Yeah. Anyway, this has been episode 3 of the podcast. Hope you enjoyed, and that's it. We should
stay tuned for episode 4.
Stay tuned for it,
which will be out next week.
Yeah, next week. This one will be releasing tomorrow, which is today for you.
If by the time you listen to this, for you
guys. Yeah. But anyway, seeing as we're going now, I feel like we should do something different, Blue. You ready? On a count of 3, we're going to do the same thing. All right? You'll know what it is. You'll know what it is. Okay. Bring. Ayo. What's up? See you guys. Oh, that's been good.